Welcome traders to our post-week market review. So jumping straight into the things here from where the market opened up, which is this candlestick here. As you can see, we saw a bullish continuation after market close on Friday last week, or sorry, should I say the week before last. We saw a bullish continuation with price carrying itself all the way up to around 5,419, as we did expect some bullish momentum to enter within the market on the back end of all of that political emotion that's going on with Iran and America. And as you can see, we did go up to test close enough to that most recent all-time high. From there, then you can see that the dollar ended up gaining some strength, indicating or causing gold to then decrease in value, and people started to get rid of their gold, if you will. And as you can see, we saw a big bearish drop after this high was created, pushing price all the way down to one of our key points of interest. If you remember from previous videos, we've spoken about this level of 5,000 multiple times in our technical analysis as the overall pivotal point. We've said that anything above this level of 5,000 we're going to accept as a overall bullish market. Anything below it we're going to accept as bearish, and the probability of a bearish continuation if we're below that level is higher in terms of probability in comparison to if we're trading above it. It's more likely, we're more likely going to see price continue on above that. So after that drop, then you can see that price did push itself back up. We created this lower low and then this lower high, and price from there, so we sort of got a double top. Price found this resistance of around 5,190, give or take, and then price just sort of began to consolidate on the lower time frames, rejecting off of our point of interest of around 5,090. From there, then you can see prices push back up to go and test this rough area of resistance, which also is a previous level of support. So one thing I do want to do here is I want to go down to our minute 15. Actually, no, we'll go back to our hourly time frame. We're just going to mark in this level with a horizontal ray here. You can see it's pretty much where price is testing on. We'll mark it in our purple color. You can see that where price currently is, we've seen price reject off of this level multiple times as a support, and we are now rejecting off of it as a resistance. You can also see that price has finished or closed at this area upon market close on Friday last week at around 10 p.m. GMT. So there's a couple of things that we could expect to see this coming week for gold. So one thing we could expect to see is we could expect to see this overall or rough resistance area broken through and price push up to our level of 5,250. If we see that take place, then a continuation for overall bullish movement is a lot more probable. However, we might come back up to test this previous resistance. For example, we might come up to around here and we could see price come back down and fail at this support level and then push back towards that 5,000 level. Another thing we could see price, instead of coming all the way back down, we could see a break and retest pattern where price sort of comes to this level here, rejects off of previous resistance as a support, and then a continuation. But I do think, looking at the higher time frames, an overall bullish continuation for next week is a lot more likely than a bearish continuation. As you can see in the daily time frame, if we forget any of this information after this big bearish drop after the most recent all-time high, you can see that overall we have seen higher highs and higher lows. If I go to our 4 hour, you'll be able to see that in a little bit of a clearer state. Let me just, there you go. So you can see that we're sort of creating higher highs, higher lows, seeing some consolidation between these, but overall price is bullish. Obviously this week we have seen a lower low being created and then a lower high, indicating some sort of flip. However, we do have to take into account the political and economic events that are taking place in the world right now, which are definitely causing an effect on gold and other markets alike. So with that being said, I think that's pretty much it for our post-week market review. Overall, we are still in this consolidation on the back end of this big bearish drop. If we see price continue to consolidate, all we're going to be waiting to see is if the resistance is broken through or the support is broken through. And until then, we're going to accept that price action will continue to consolidate and we'll see gold continue to move sideways. Of course, we will tap back in tomorrow. I will do a write-up start of week technical analysis. We haven't done one of those in a while, but I will sort of, especially with the heightened pressure and volatility around gold at the moment because of the political and economic things happening in the world. I'll tap back in tomorrow at around sort of late afternoon GMT time, and I'll give you a write-up on sort of how the market opened up and a sort of re-established bias for where we could expect gold to go to. But I think by the looks of it, we're definitely going to push up to where this sort of utmost high point is, around 5,200, and it's just sort of, we're just going to have to sit back and relax and just wait to see what happens. If price breaks through this and we see a clean breaking structure of this consolidation, it does look promising for gold in terms of bullish moves. But if we reject off that resistance, we'll obviously tap back in. Hopefully we'll tap back in before that actually happens on Monday tomorrow, and give our sort of re-updated bias of where we could expect gold to go to. So that's going to be our post-week market review. As always, I hope you have all enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I will catch you in our midweek technical analysis, but I'll also catch you in our write-up that I will post tomorrow. Hope you guys have had a good weekend. Let's get it Monday tomorrow. Let's have a nice trading week. Wish you all the best. Peace.